In early 2015, 17-year-old Tana Mongeau posted her first YouTube video. Raised in Las Vegas as an only child, Tana's unique upbringing made for great storytime content, a genre that was just starting to take off on the platform. Tana's first few videos racked up hundreds of thousands of views, and she quickly made a name for herself as one of the most popular storytime creators on YouTube. Her stories, ranging from having a hairdresser from hell to getting banged with a toothbrush, were raunchy and larger than life, solidifying Tana's reputation as a crazy party girl with few boundaries. But as Tana's channel grew and she became increasingly more famous, this expectation of her as a wild child would underline almost every decision that Tana made for years to come. No matter how many times she tried to clean up her reputation, Tana consistently struggled to gain audience and industry trust after having broken it so many times. This is part one of the story of Tana Mongeau, YouTube's most notorious party girl who, after years of bad decisions and massive scandals, has somehow managed to come out on top. From Centennial World, I'm Lauren Meisner, and this is Infinite Scroll, a podcast about internet culture, the creator economy, and how social media is shaping Gen Z. Welcome back to Infinite Scroll, everyone. I am so excited to bring you guys a two-part episode on Tana Mongeau. We have never done a deep dive into Tana, and I actually just can't believe it. We did reach out to Tana to see if she would add commentary or want to come on. You know, we do that for every creator that we do a deep dive on typically. Of course, we did not hear back, did not expect to hear back, but just wanted to make that known. But anyways, as always, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. It means so much. It helps me grow. Please sign up to our newsletter, which is also called Infinite Scroll. On Fridays, we round up the 5 biggest think pieces on the internet from that week, and join our Geneva group, which is called Infinite Scroll as well, where you can chat with other people who are obsessed with internet culture and creator drama and tea, and you can chat with me. All right, I just have one cute little review to read for you guys, and it's actually from Jordy. So Jordy on Spotify, she wrote, "Such a great episode about the Skibbity Toilet one. Obsessed with you both and this conversation. Critical thinking I can't find anywhere else." So sweet. Thank you, Jordy. Honestly, that episode with Aiden has been taking off in terms of not necessarily like traction, but just people are obsessed with it. Like the people that are listening are obsessed with it. And I'm obsessed with it because I'm obsessed with him and his brain. So definitely go listen. Even if you think Skibbity Toilet, Gen Alpha, all of that is not up your alley, it is so interesting. He's so smart and he has so much insight. So definitely go listen. When many of us were introduced to Tana Mongeau, she was just a 17-year-old girl recording story times sitting on her bedroom in Las Vegas. These stories, many of which seemed to be a bit insane for a teenage girl to have experienced, soon came to define Tana, and her brand as a creator was very not safe for brands and unabashedly herself. Tana rose to virality in 2015, a time before adpocalypse crippled YouTube, the beauty community was rattled by drama, and audiences quite understood the nature of influencer marketing. The consumption of long-form content was at an all-time high, with the recommended page filled with neon thumbnails and clickbait. It was in this context that the YouTube storytime emerged, a genre of content of which Tana became the blueprint. In a 2022 video titled "Let's Discuss the Storytime Era Internet Analysis," commentary creator Tiffany Ferg breaks down this time in YouTube history. Focusing on the rise and fall of storytimes, Tiffany summarizes the good, bad, and ugly of this genre. But first, she recaps the characteristics of the most popular storytellers and outlines why these creators were so successful.
While some storytellers were more on the chill end, somebody who was comforting and relaxing to listen to, the top storytime creators were typically very charismatic, funny, a bit sarcastic. There was a distinct physical and vocal performance during this era.
The storytime era ushered in a cultural reset. Staged content like skits and comedy, which largely dominated early YouTube, was out, and more real content about real people was in. As a result, storytime creators were unabashed, unfiltered, and brutally honest, something that Tana embodied as early as her first video. The oldest video on her channel, titled "Hairdresser from Hell," was released in 2015, and now has been viewed more than 3.9 million times. In the video, she explained a recent experience at a hairdresser that was just all around dodgy. Tana's delivery was engaging, and she was clearly extremely charismatic and funny. One of the most iconic quotes from Tana's career emerged from this video.
A bleach and tone, like a bleach and tone.
While this was an iconic video, Tana skyrocketed to virality for her Stalker series. On July 22nd, 2015, Tana uploaded the first installment titled My Creepy Stalker Story, which has since garnered over 4.5 million views. She has posted updates on the situation over the years, and in her most recent video, she exposed her stalker's identity to her millions of subscribers. However, as Tana shared her stalker story times, the more skeptical fans became, with many viewers claiming that she embellished the truth for clout. Nevertheless, as she started sharing more and more stories from her life, older Gen Zs became obsessed with Tana and the type of content that she was producing. With this demographic in middle school and high school, she became a big sister figure for many viewers.
Compared to some other popular female creators like Alicia Marie, Lord DIY, My Life is Ava, who were appealing to younger viewers via sanitized, Disney-fied, PG-13 kinds of videos, Tana seemed older, edgy. She captivated them with a very different approach.
Aside from her stalker stories, some of her most popular storytime videos include titles like I Got Banged with a Toothbrush, where she talks about a wild rumor that spread about her, and I Fought a Grown-Ass Couple in the Airport, which is as dramatic as the title suggests. With stories like these, it's clear she completely personified the candor that came to be the storytime era on YouTube. By 2016, just 1 year after starting YouTube, Tana reached 2 million subscribers. At this point, she was a full-fledged internet celebrity, releasing merch and even going on her first meet and greet tour called Hello, Tana Mongeau. It was during this time that she also started collaborating with other big creators, like Jonah Green, Shannon Rose, whom she infamously filmed a dead body of a man who had just overdosed on the street, Ricky Dillon, and Cody Ko. More on him in part 2. But as Tana's star rose to an astronomical rate, the success didn't come without controversy. Given that Tana's whole brand is essentially centered around being problematic, this will not be an exhaustive list. However, there were a couple notable scandals that came to shape Tana's early career. First and foremost was when Tana found herself in drama with Freelee the Banana Girl, whose real name is Leanne Ratcliffe. Now, if you know anything about Freelee, then you know that she probably caused more disordered eating in young women through the 2010s than all the tabloid magazines combined. I want to preface this by saying, don't take her advice seriously. So Freelee posted a critical response to Tana's Q&A about staying slim. Freelee took issue with Tana's concept of quote-unquote bored eating and her advice for distracting oneself from mindless hunger. Quote, this video should really be called How to Get Fat, Freelee said, advising Tana to carb the fuck up and stop ignoring her hunger cues. Freelee's partner, Durian Ryder, chimed in, predicting, quote, Tana is going to blow out. By the time she's your age, Freelee, she'll be 80 kilos. She looks washed out as. Unsurprisingly, Tana and her followers were not pleased. Tana responded with a strongly worded video, starting with,
I am making a video to ask Freelee why she is a bitch.
This ignited a back and forth exchange with videos and responses. To put it into context, Tana was 17 years old at the time, fighting with a woman well into her 30s, after she was targeted by her. But looking back, that's not how most people saw it. More on that later. A year later, Tana found herself embroiled in a back and forth with iDubbbz, whose real name is Ian Washburn. Their feud started in December 2016, when Tana tweeted at iDubbbz calling him out for using bigoted language online to his then 3 million subscribers. Many fans felt this was ironic, as Tana had her own history of using racial slurs. Throughout 2012 to 2014, Tana had allegedly used racial slurs in multiple tweets and Snapchats. In 2015, she apologized for her actions and claimed she thought the N-word meant friend or homie. Nevertheless, iDubbbz retaliated 6 weeks after Tana called him out during the 18-year-old's meet and greet in San Francisco. iDubbbz turned up wearing Tana's merch, got in position for a photo with her, and rather than saying cheese for the photo, he blurted out, say the N-word. And he did not censor his language. The interaction was captured by his now wife, Anissa Joma. Days after the interaction, Tana posted a video titled The N-Word, where she reflected on the situation. Tana and iDubbbz went on to have a very public feud, where iDubbbz discussed Tana's racist history on Content Cop, which was a series in which he would call out fellow controversial YouTubers. While the two creators had not addressed the situation in years, iDubbbz took to YouTube on May 18th, 2023, to apologize to Tana.
Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online, and that's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid.
While iDubbbz issued Tana an apology, the creator has also had to issue her own fair share of apologies. We won't have time to go through all of them, but there was one early scandal in her career that has come up a couple of times over the years, and it all revolved around her collab channel, Trash. For those unfamiliar with Trash, Tana launched the channel in 2016 with the aim of helping smaller YouTubers grow their followings. She invited her followers to send in audition-style videos, and the response was overwhelming. Tana and her team received over 10,000 submissions from people eager to join the channel. Alongside Tana, there were 6 original members: Oh My God Jackie, Chip Wells, Kira Bridget, Aaron Fuller, Natalia Taylor, and Colin Berry. The plan was that each day of the week, one member would post a video. Some weeks there were themes, and others the creators were free to choose. While no one can deny that Tana's intentions seemed pure, Trash soon fell into chaos. Viewers were disappointed because Tana frequently missed her upload days and felt that the other creators were trying to copy her style of self-deprecating humor. While Tana ultimately ended up leaving the channel because of scheduling conflicts, Trash did bring on another member, attempting to alleviate the pressure on other members. That person was Anna Campbell. Anna is one of the most controversial figures of 2010's YouTube. Younger women, including Natalia from Trash, have alleged that they were groomed and assaulted by her. While we don't have time to dive into this today, although do let me know if you want a deep dive on this, the allegations against Anna have significantly tarnished the legacy of Trash. Another member of the channel, Colin Berry, has since come forth to call out Tana during that period. On June 15th, 2020, Colin uploaded a video titled Finally Revealing the Truth About Tana Mongeau. The 45-minute video details Colin's experience working with Tana years ago when she chose him to be part of her collab channel Trash. He discussed a number of different experiences, from her response to iDubbbz to various microaggressions she committed. Off the back of the iDubbbz situation, Colin initially stood in solidarity with Tana, a decision he says subjected him to an outpour of hate and negativity. As the situation evolved and Tana allegedly refused to accept responsibility for her words, Colin says he voiced his concerns to Tana. In his video, Colin said Tana was not receptive to his concerns, which surprised him as they were friends. He alleged that Tana was defensive, played the victim, and took his feedback as an attack. Throughout the video, Colin detailed many other alleged instances where he felt Tana's actions were based in racism, namely gaslighting Colin, invalidating his feelings, framing him as an angry Black person, and even reportedly spreading rumors to others in the industry that Colin had been arrested. After Colin detailed his experiences, multiple Black creators came forward with stories of Tana's racist microaggressions, including her ex-friend, Simply Nessa. In September 2020, Tana posted a video titled A Long Overdue Apology, where she apologized to fans and creators for her racist past. Tana, who appeared to be reading off a teleprompter, started by addressing her white privilege, explaining,
I have no right to ask or expect forgiveness from anyone that I have hurt with my actions.
She later admitted that had a person of color acted the way that she has over the years, they would no longer have a career. She also rebuked her former apology videos, saying that she is, quote, disgusted by them and should have never released them to such a large platform. Tana admitted that she spent years deflecting and making excuses for her behavior, which is reflected in those videos. She called herself out for performative activism and confessed that she was more concerned with getting fans to like her again rather than actually changing as a person. Tana also apologized to Colin and Simply Nessa directly. She said despite Colin and Nessa's efforts to show her the errors of her ways, she didn't listen because she was convinced that she was a good person and had nothing to learn. That's not the end of Tana's controversies, not even close. But before we continue, it's worth looking back at one of her most celebrated moments, Tana's music career. In 2017, Tana started dating actress Bella Thorne. Bella had previously been involved with musician Black Bear, who reacted to the news of Bella's new relationship by tweeting a screenshot of a news post that was covering Bella and Tana's new relationship alongside another screenshot that showed that he'd flagged this news as irrelevant. This tweet was the catalyst for Tana to launch her music career 2 months later, with a debut single about women empowerment called Hefner. On Hefner, Tana rapped, using that lightly here, about women being in the power position in relationships. Bella featured in the music video, and even though the song was so bad, it was also weirdly good. Hefner brought fans back around to Tana after the iDubbbz and trash controversies. It felt self-aware, like Tana was almost trolling herself and showing fans how unseriously she took her career as a YouTuber. Tana and Bella were one of the most famous and also unexpected couples on social media. The pair were together until 2019 before descending into an on-again, off-again online feud. That said, their breakup was well documented, with the two publicly beefing and throwing shade at one another. Bella even released a song about Tana in December 2020 titled SFB, an acronym for Stupid Fucking Bitch. You can imagine that wasn't a love song. Tana went on to post a reaction video to Bella's song, only adding fuel to the fire. Nevertheless, the two seem to have buried the hatchet, with both women speaking fondly of each other in years since. While Hefner was divisive, no scandal compares to TanaCon. I'm sure all of you listening to this podcast are familiar with the chaos that was TanaCon. But for those who aren't, here's a recap. It all started when Tana sat down for a 1 hour and 18-minute video titled Why I Won't Be Attending VidCon 2018. In the video, she explained her frustrations with the convention after attending as a creator. Tana was particularly upset about not being designated as a featured creator, a status that comes with perks like security detail, participation in official events, and staying at the designated hotel. Tana didn't initially expect to be a featured creator, but as her online presence grew, the VidCon team indicated that she had a solid chance. However, this never came through, and she claimed the team led her on just to promote the event. Attending as a regular creator, she was kicked out of the convention in 2017, and in 2016, she caused security issues after being mobbed by fans. After sharing her negative experiences with VidCon, Tana set out to create her own 2-day convention to celebrate content creators and their fans in 2018. To make matters even more chaotic, it was hosted down the road from VidCon. The event was poorly organized and oversold, leading to overcrowding and logistical problems. Angry attendees recorded their experiences waiting to enter the convention, enduring long queues without access to necessities like food, water, or shelter. Many suffered from severe sunburns, with some attendees even fainting while in line. Due to safety concerns and struggles with crowd management, the convention was shut down on its first day. Soon, the event was covered across the world by different media outlets. But no piece of media was more prolific than the 3-part docuseries by Shane Dawson, The Truth About TanaCon. Shane felt a sense of responsibility as a special guest at the convention, seeking to get to the bottom of the situation and figure out how the event failed so spectacularly. After all, at the time, there were rumors that TanaCon was all about manufacturing a viral moment. In the series, Shane spoke to different people involved and dove into the background of Good Times Company, the organizers of the event, and its CEO, Michael Weist. As Catherine Lindsay reported for Refinery 29 at the time, quote, "The series is a lot of he said, she said. Mojo says she was told the venue would fit 5,000 people. She claims she was told the majority of the tickets sold were free tickets, so VIPs shouldn't have to wait in line. She said she specifically asked for adequate security, around 91 guards, space, food, and water. Good Times claims Mojo was aware that the attendees were mostly VIPs and that she was barely involved in the planning." At the time, Shane was considered the Oprah Winfrey of YouTube, beloved by the masses for telling meaningful stories and giving second chances to various creators, although we all know how that panned out. With this context, many internet users praised the documentary. But looking back, people have raised questions about Shane and Tana's friendship. And with this, the ethics of the docuseries as a whole. As conversations started circulating about the way Shane spoke to minors during his massive cancellation in 2020, people began to view his friendship with Tana in a different light. As we have established, Tana rose to viral fame when she was a minor and started befriending much older creators, with Shane as an example of someone who was almost 10 years her senior. Tana was also vocal about being a longtime Shane Dawson fan, adding to the questionable power dynamic. During their friendship, they discussed wildly inappropriate topics. In fact, the most popular video on Tana's channel to this day is titled, "I peed on Shane Dawson, you wish this was clickbait," which was released just after she turned 18. At the time, people didn't really react very strongly, but of course, it has aged very poorly. Given this context, Shane's documentary about TanaCon left a bad taste in some people's mouths. While Shane's docuseries might have been Tana's first foray into this kind of content, it definitely wasn't her last. In 2019, Tana was tapped to star in an MTV reality show called MTV No Filter, Tana Turns 21. The first season documented Tana in the lead up to her 21st birthday, another example of how Tana was exploited as this wild child party girl before she was even legal to drink. MTV No Filter ran 2 seasons, throughout which Tana spent a large portion of the show sleeping, recovering from partying, and struggling to meet her professional commitments. At the time, Tana faced criticism for treating her friends poorly and downplaying an asthma diagnosis. Quote, "MTV wanted the drama, and I didn't think the episode would end up the way it did," she later said of the show. "There's probably people who are still skeptical when it comes to that, but I know my truth." Tana went on to say that she would take so much Xanax after filming that the effects would last into the next day. Quote, "There was just a time in my life where I was abusing everything I could." Throughout the series, fans also got a glimpse into the deterioration of Tana's relationship with her longtime manager, Jordan Worona. Along with Amari Stewart, Ashley Schwan, and many of Tana's other friends, Jordan was always a big part of the Tana Mongeau cinematic universe. He was well known to fans and even lived and ran his business out of Tana's pool house for a few years. MTV No Filter showed a complicated side to their professional and personal relationship. The two fought multiple times on the show, and at one point, Tana even accused Jordan of calling her a piece of shit and a liar. In November 2020, Tana and Jordan officially parted ways. While it's never been confirmed why, Tana has hinted at Jordan owing her money. There's also speculation that Jordan started seeing Tana's childhood friend and roommate at the time, Isabella Fusco, which contributed to the deterioration of Tana and Jordan's working relationship. While season 1 of MTV No Filter documented her coming of age in the LA party scene, season 2 of MTV No Filter would chronicle another milestone in Tana's story, her turbulent relationship with mega YouTuber Jake Paul. In April 2019, Tana started hooking up with Jake Paul, leader of the Team 10 house. They kept their relations a secret at first, but fans noticed signs that the two were getting closer on social media. To add fuel to the internet rumors, they took their relationship, or whatever it was, public in a video on Jake's channel published in April 2019. The video was titled, "Meet the Girl I've Been Hiding From You." It seemed that Tana and Jake decided to ride the clout wave, and they lent into this relationship thing pretty hard. After 2 months of dating, the couple got quote-unquote engaged while celebrating Tana's birthday in Las Vegas. Jake proposed at the club with a cake that said, "Will you marry me?" And then another 2 months after that, they got quote-unquote married, marking one of the biggest moments in YouTuber history. Tana and Jake exchanged vows in front of family, friends, and other influencers in July 2019 at Graffiti Mansion in Las Vegas. The reception was held at Sugar Factory at the Fashion Show Mall, where a red carpet with a line of invited press greeted influencers at the entrance. The event reportedly cost $500,000, and the couple didn't even get legally married. Shocker. The most controversial part, however, was that Jake charged fans $50 to live stream their wedding from home. The live stream was so glitchy that refunds ended up being issued to fans who made complaints. While Tana and Jake didn't officially get married and eventually announced their split at the end of 2019, there's no denying that Tana was in deep with Jake. In a 40-minute video posted on December 30th, 2019, Tana opened up about feeling lost since marrying Jake. She revealed that she had agreed to be in an open relationship, hoping that it would make her seem like a quote-unquote cool wife. She didn't realize that meant Jake would be sleeping with a new girl every night. Throughout the video, she maintained that she still loves Jake, a sentiment that she defended in her Instagram post announcing their breakup. Quote, "I will always love Jake and everything we did. I'm grateful to know throughout this I've made a best friend for life and found someone to do life with when no one else understood me," she wrote in her caption. In the video, Tana also shared her desire to reconcile with her traumatic childhood in 2020 and deal with her addictions. She said she doesn't feel like she's been completely honest with her audience throughout the years on YouTube because she's kept her demons hidden and that she'll be changing that in the new year. Tana also changed her name from Tana Paul back to Tana Mongeau across social media. 5 months later, Jake admitted during an interview with Entertainment Tonight that he entered into the relationship with Tana for publicity. The 2010s were a tumultuous time for Tana's career. From starting YouTube as a teenager, sharing inappropriate story times, to several huge scandals, a reality show, addiction issues, and a PR stunt wedding, Tana had made her mark on the industry in just 5 short years. And after breaking her fan base's trust time and time again, her reputation going into the next decade was not great. Tana entered the 2020s branded as a party girl who started drama for clout and didn't care about what she did or who she hurt as long as she was making money and having fun. But 2020 was about to change all of our lives, and also Tana's, because this was the year where Tana, probably unbeknownst to her, started planting the seeds for a redemption. Though it would take several more years for audiences to come back around to trusting Tana again, one storytime video posted in December 2020 would lay the groundwork for a major element of Tana's renaissance. And that video was about her ex-best friend, Mindy. Infinite Scroll is a podcast written, produced, and presented by me, Lauren Meisner, for Centennial World. Additional research and reporting is by Annabelle Ben-David. Editing is by Danny Fennick. Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of Tana Mongeau's story. Part 2 will be out next Friday. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.